Today's lesson is on topic 19D, finding the curve of best fit using exponents and logs. Really quickly, remember that an exponential function looks like this, where you have some base b, and this can be growth or decay. Growth happens if b is bigger than 1, and decay happens if b is between 0 and 1. So we're going to use our calculator a lot today, so just notice these two steps here for how we use our calculator for curve of best fit. Remember, we've done this before. The first thing you want to do is go ahead and turn on your stat diagnostics. And then once you do that, we'll do example 1 in our calculator.
So we're going to hit stat and then edit, and you're just typing in the x and y coordinates from example 1. And then we'll go back to stat, over to calc, and we want to scroll down until you see exponential regression, which is exp number 0. Then you want to hit alpha trace, enter, to store it into y1. We always do that, and here's your equation.
Now we're going to move on to number 2. We're doing the same idea here, so we're going to type all this in our calculator.
So we go to stat, over to edit, and then I am just going to speed type all this stuff in here. I have sped this up. I'm not some like crazy ninja that can type this fast. And just make sure that you put all of your x's in L1 and all of your y's in L2. And just always do a double check that you typed everything in properly. You can see in here that some of these blanks got all kind of wonky, so just always do a quick little double check. Then once we're there, we go to stat, over to calc, and again you want to scroll down to number 0, the exponential regression, and then do alpha trace 1 for y1.
Now this next one has a couple options for us. So it says enter this data into L1 and L2 and look at the scatter plot. So remember to turn on your scatter plot. We need to hit second y equals, and I'll show you that in the calculator.
So you hit second y equals, enter, and we want to hit on to turn on our stat plot.
And then as we put this stuff in, we're going to have to do both the quadratic and the exponential. And we want to find the r squared value that is as closest to 1 as possible. That's our goal, to figure out which one is actually the best model here.
So we're just going to speed type in all of the x and y values from this problem. Now we're hitting zoom, and you want to go down to number 9, which is zoom stat, and that's to see the actual shape of the graph. And notice it kind of looks like a parabola here. We have that U shape, so it's more than likely going to be a quadratic. So when we go in, we'll start with number 5, quadratic, and do the alpha trace, store it in y1, and our r squared is 0.86, which is pretty good. Then we'll go and do it with the exponential, so that's number 0, do alpha trace, store it, and this r squared is going to be 0.04, which is not very good at all. So we want to go back to quadratic. That's going to be the best curve of best fit here.
So I got these two different equations, and the one we want to pick is going to be our quadratic regression because that r squared is way better. So our best model is going to be the quadratic equation, and we're going to predict by using our calculator, or if you forget how to do that, we can always just plug in the year 2000 into our x values.
So I'm going back to stat, doing the quad reg, and I'm storing it in my y equals so that I can use the table. So when I go to my table, you'll see that it's actually at the year 2000. That's not what you want. That's not the year 2000. So I go to table set, start it back at 0, and that's 1988. So we actually want to go down to 12 because that's going to be the year 2000, 12 years after 88.
So we found 201,000 because this is in thousands of dollars. And now I want you to try these next 3 on your own. So in this one, the exponential gave us a domain error, which tells me that it's got to be the quadratic function. And again here, we have a domain error for the exponential, which means that the quadratic equation must be our final answer here.